Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with two guys who need no introduction.
Although we like them.
What if we got somebody new from California watching?
Oh, well, maybe you do need an introduction. Mike, why don't you introduce Bill this week and maybe Bill can introduce you.
This is Bill Englehardt.
This is Mike Carroll.
That's all you got?
G for the middle initial, Michael. G.
Michael G. Michael G. Wiz Carroll. William, middle initial, and William
C.
William
Clarence.
C.
William Clarence Englehardt.
Well, no Clarence, just C. He said the name was already too long. So that's why I ended up with only an initial.
Well, you're in good company. Like Ulysses S. Grant. The S doesn't stand for anything. Who else? There was another president with a Truman, Harry S. Truman. I don't think the S stood for anything.
I'm in good company. Then
It's presidential.
presidential.
Speaking of presidential, I got this guy watching me today.
Oh boy. We got to be honest today. No fibs.
6'4". Who'd he play for?
He was center for Springfield High.
I think. How old is that building? I don't think that building was there during Lincoln's day.
Well, at the basketball, they played outside in a cherry hoop.
Played a lot at New Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a forward at New Salem. They had a 7-foot guy there.
Yeah, they had a big guy out of Europe.
Paul Bunyan, I think was his name.
Oh, one thing you can count on this show is you always hear something new, and it's always the truth.
Well, it's the source.
It's a source.
Yeah, it's the source of information.
Some of the buildings, I understand, that are part of Remembering Tuscola are going by the wayside. I read in the paper, the old church on Houghton, the old Christian church.
I thought it was about ready to go anyways.
Well, it looks like it.
Falling down.
Now they're going to tear it.
I asked Drew he thought it was restorable, because I actually drove by it the other day, and I'm thinking, that'd make a cool house. And he said that the city inspector thinks it would take $700,000 to
Oh my goodness.
restore it. Yeah, I got to looking at. I mean, I showed a picture in the paper this week. There's brick around a window that's falling, and there's a lot of structural damage that is not cheap to fix, as Flushers is finding out. But you think
what's it cost to tear it down and haul it off? A couple $100,000?
probably 150.
Is that because of asbestos or
No, I think the problem is every haul down to a landfill is like $500 every truck full. So the landfill costs.
It's got to be done though, and really from a safety issue, buildings like that attract kids, and they're dangerous. And I know because I was a kid once, and I would explore every abandoned house I could find.
When they tore the old
they attract kids like me.
When they tore the old North Ward down as a young kid, I went down there with rocks and I was busting out the windows, and I got in trouble. I said, "They're tearing it down. How can I get in trouble for busting windows?"
Well, the one on Pembroke.
The one on
Enzi.
Yeah, the one on Enzi.
Enzi and Center.
Yeah, they were slated to tear it down and already started taking the roof off. And I'm throwing rocks through, and I said, "That's probably my first legal case at age about 8 or 9."
So did you win your case?
Yeah, they let me go. I mean, come on, I'm throwing rocks through the window and they're tearing it down the next day.
Who would that have been, Orson Moorhead?
Some city person stopped.
I used to run around inside South Ward before they tore it down, and the Fornoff Mansion before they tore it down. Those are great places to explore.
I tried to walk up the steps back when it was falling down. Remember, it was there for a long time,
Mhm.
crumbling.
Mhm.
Which one?
Torn off.
Hornoff home was
Yeah.
there for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah, I mean, there were brick walls that had collapsed, and
But there were still stairs up to the second floor.
yeah. Yeah, you could, yeah. This is why I say it was kind of dangerous.
We went up out there and picked up rocks from their garden. They had a rock garden like thing. And we still have those too. I
Huh,
guess we were stealing private property, weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, you do it now.
Well, yeah, I did.
what's the statute of
Take it up,
limitations
yeah.
on rock thievery?
It's
Mhm.
rock is 3 years.
He's probably okay then.
Mm.
Well,
Arson and murder don't have one. So
Do you have pictures of the Fornoff home this week?
I don't have the Fornoff this week. We have had it, so we could find it, but it might take a bit. I don't have a ton of pictures because I've been really busy this week.
You
I
got
got
to
a
go to
few.
the fair.
Hmm?
Did you go to the fair?
No, I've got some work obligations that need to get done, and
that work gets in the way of stuff, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. No one should have
work
to.
gets in the way of my work. Okay.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
we got them all.
Yeah, we got those guys.
I'll let Bill get some of them.
Well, starting on the left, that's kind of easy. I'll do Frank Lincoln and Doc Smith. And I'll let Mike take.
On the right's Bill McCarty, Doug McCumber, and Paul Flock.
Mhm.
Now we got to get down to the shovel.
We got the mayor, Snyder.
Oh, yeah, that's
Clarence
old Clarence.
Snyder, and
Yeah.
I want to say the guy with the glasses looks a little bit like Bob Rose, but I doubt if it is.
Looks like Bob Rose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at
Karen
him.
Cappy says that's her dad, Robert Rose.
Oh,
Hey,
there
we
you
got
go.
him. We got everybody.
Now he was at the lumber yard.
Well,
Where is this picture
I'm
taken?
thinking it's out near his house in the Southland Acres.
She says, looks like it is our house in Southland Acres. Point to Mike.
I mean, well, that's more than 1 point. That's a toughie.
Hey, now I'm awarding the points here.
Yeah, but I got the right to protest and go to a higher authority. Jenny, Jenny. This is about 19, let's guess the date. I'm saying this is 1972. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't have the date, but
Possibly something of that era, but I'm trying to understand why they're digging out
Well,
there in Bob's side yard.
Bob's Smith's a councilman. Frank was a city attorney.
This is all city stuff, isn't it? Pretty much, or banking, McCarty, McCumber.
yeah, you got the bankers here. You got
What were
was
they doing?
Frank the state's attorney at the time?
I think it was I don't,
City attorney?
attorney in 72, I think. I don't know.
Was Paul on the city council?
All flock, yes.
Yeah. So you got 3 from the council.
Maybe Bob Rose is going to plant a tree or something, and it was a slow week in the news cycle. The mayor loved to get the mayor.
I love pictures.
The TNB people, Doug and Bill and the mayor, love to get the photos all the time. I tried to avoid them.
What's that? Oh, it's got his name on his hat.
Oh yeah, he was running for president back then. I
Yeah.
don't know what they were doing there.
Clarence dead now.
You know, I lost track. He might be. Is Clarence passed away, David?
I think so, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Golden days. There you go.
That's a little bit awkward.
Well, he's getting ready to go into a fire
Yeah,
and they're putting anti-fire chalk on him.
they must be.
That's called whiteface, David.
That
Yeah,
is.
I see that he's got some powder on his face. He's getting ready for a performance of some sort. And not
See
sure
you
what he's,
later.
not sure what he's doing there for Denny, but
Double D. Double D. Yeah, I don't know if that's fire retardant stuff they spread, or if Denny used to do all the Miss Tuscola moderator. I wonder if Steve was tried out for Miss Tuscola just to see how it went.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think he was at the
sometimes they
last
put on
one.
little performances. Let's see. Dirk Dietrich says his dad used to dress as a clown during parades. I'm thinking that may be what Steve's doing there, is putting on a clown
Pass the
clown
torch.
makeup.
Pass the clown torch.
Mhm.
So it kind of looks like a ventriloquist on Denny's lap there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, they were close. That's Roy Snyder on the left.
Tom Stewart,
Uh,
Bernie Campbell.
Doug, Mr. Ford, Daryl Ford.
In the back off of Tom Stewart, that's Jerry Malady.
Now there's Bill Skinner,
There's Bill Skinner.
Bill McCarty.
Got Bill McCarty there in the glasses.
That's Pendergrass to the right of him, I think.
Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Pearl played basketball for New York Knicks.
Yeah. That's
Now, Bill Skinner worked down the Corn Belt Savings and Loan for a while.
First Federal.
First Federal,
Yeah.
which
he
was the
first.
old Corn Belt Savings Loan. Who's the Bob there? Is that
That's Bob Happ.
Happ used to run the
Hock.
Shell station on Route 36?
What?
Yeah, Bob Happ ran the Shell station.
Yeah.
And who's the flat top over here? We don't have them. We got everybody but the flat top.
That's Jerry Malady.
Oh, in the back is Jerry Mallett.
Jerry Malady was manager at.
And across from him is this house we've talked about that Maple Hull had a real estate office there, and then Carl Wolverton had a real estate office there. This is across from the post office.
In front of the post office, isn't
Yeah, I mean,
it?
you're looking across the street from the post
Yeah,
office south.
Yeah.
All right.
They're waiting for the post office to open
Well,
up.
the stamps are going up.
Stamps
At
are
that
going
time. They were going to
they're going up a
3 cents
penny.
back then.
They're going up a penny the next day, so they're going to buy hundreds. Oh, there we go.
That's a nice picture.
Nice
Some of these
picture.
pictures we may have had
Yeah.
before, but
Dale Bateman, Dan Meyer, and go ahead,
Well, you can say it.
Lou Rhodes.
Lou Rhodes from Paris.
Yep.
A Paris Tiger.
let's
This
see.
is all
I think
ag related.
I think that's 3 points for Bill, isn't it?
I let him say Lou Rhodes. I know he's from Paris. He used to work for the elevator in
I
Paris.
was gonna say you had a chance to steal one of those points,
No, I
Mike.
wanted Bill. Bill's got to catch up.
He wants me to catch up. Yeah.
He's so far behind. Everything looks like up to him.
This I don't know when this picture was taken, but Danny doesn't look any different.
Well, Philip looks like his dad. And this, looking at Dan there,
Looks like
Philip looks like him.
Looks like another 1970s kind of picture, maybe.
I don't know.
No, this wouldn't be 70s. That'd be 80s.
Dan's getting a little.
Late 70s.
Dan's getting a little gray now.
This is Dan graduated in 1983.
Right.
This is probably after that.
That's why I said late
Oh.
80s.
Yeah.
Then I said late 80s.
Yeah,
Could be mid 80s. But it's not 70s, I can tell you that.
I don't think it's the 70s either.
Well, once again, Clarence.
Go ahead and get some more points.
Well, the little girl is Shannon Hatfield.
Pee Wee Cunningham.
That's worth at least 50.
I knew that was Shannon. Everybody knows that Shannon.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Cunningham.
Patty Phillips.
That's opened up Patty's Photography. She's, she had it since 1966.
Yeah.
Patty.
That's good memory, Mike.
And that's Miss Tuscola at the
Written
time.
right there.
Starts with an M.
No, I'm going to have to give it to you. I can't think of who that is. I can't tell who that is.
Leslie Butler says that's Janet Hill.
That's Janet Hill? Shelley and Lori's older sister? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know
Michael
about-
Brady says, hi, Janet. So I've got 2 on here for Janet.
That's Janet.
But
Did
that,
I get points for naming sisters?
uh,
Well, I knew
Lori and Shelley?
when Pat's photography
Can
started.
yeah, you did real well.
yeah, I think Mike was able to read the writing on the door
Janet,
Oh, it does say 66.
behind
yeah,
Peavy, so
says that, yeah.
I'll be darned.
Janet Hill's uncle from Arcola.
Mhm. Leroy.
Reggie Finn.
Reggie Finn. I played basketball, football against Reggie Finn. I'll let you have that.
That'll be worth a point.
It's worth 2 points.
The kid with his arm up in the air is Brent Johns. It looks like. It may not be. It may be a little girl. I can't tell. I don't know.
Well,
who they
Brent's going
are.
to sock you in the nose if it turns out to be a
Well,
little girl.
thank God he lives far away and I haven't seen him for years, but it kind of looked like Brent initially. It's not Brent.
doesn't look like Brent to me, but
No, it's not.
Why would you
I'm
say?
not sure when this.
Well, and when my first reaction was when I first saw it, I was trying to get a point because I'm so far behind.
Is there a negative when a guy guesses wildly?
Yeah, I don't know. I think these guys are probably younger than me. I'm not sure who they are. I don't have any help on this one either. But that is Boy Scout, what do they call that? The
So race, yeah.
Boxcar racing?
Pinewood Derby.
Pinewood Derby.
How much is that worth?
That's a half point.
Yeah.
You can see the pine right there. Wayne Henniger, my classmate on the tractor is Wayne Henniger, class 65.
Yeah.
And he was our Dale Bateman on the left, a young Dale Bateman. This is probably, this could be 65.
Could be.
And he's driving an Alice Chalmers, wearing white socks, which was the trend back then.
And he won first place. He got a clock.
Yeah, he got the famous
What's that say?
first place, Western Illinois 4-H tractor something district,
Presented by no one.
University of Vietnam.
It kind of looked like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
University of Vietnam. That was
This guy is
that's Robert that's Robert Utility.
From Chicago.
Yeah.
And he worked for an oil company.
oil content.
Robert Miller. Wayne was quite a musical guy, and he's actually, I've got his CD he sent me where he's got a gospel quartet. He's really good.
Where's he live now? Do you know?
No, he's not in Tuscola. He's come back to a couple
No.
reunions. Mr. Court let him direct the band one time when he had to be gone.
Really?
That's quite an honor.
That's special.
That's not only special, it's 10-point special.
Oh, I see.
There's Miss Corn, 1967. Now, I don't know her.
You know her.
Well, give us her initials and I know her.
According to Marcy Shoemaker, W.A.
An Armstrong or an Allen?
Allen, I was going to say.
No, that's not Wilma Allen.
No.
Marcy Shoemaker says Wick Armstrong.
Oh, that's Wick.
You know, I never did know
Wick
her.
was her nickname, though.
Yeah, her parents had the journal.
Right.
Yeah, I saw there was a cut line with this picture, and it just said this young lady. She's demonstrating that the corn in June was way higher than knee high by 4th of July, and it just said this young lady. Well, probably because her parents were running the newspaper at the time and just used her as a model and didn't want to put her name in the paper. So
I think she married Gary Neal, didn't she?
I think so. I'll probably hear from Gary later on.
Yeah, Gary will let you know.
Yeah.
Hi, Gary.
Well, what do you got here? This looks like,
Bill had them all in grade school. He ought to know all of them.
okay, I think this group's a little older than I am. This is Kevin Wiggle right up here in the white shirt with the ring.
That is Kevin.
What year do you
Yes.
have this? What do you have this about? 1980, 81?
I don't have a year. And this, I believe, is Dr. Smith's son, the dentist that recently died.
Mm-hmm.
Now one of his kids, and this may be Ed Brannick. I'm not sure.
The blonde-headed boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The kid next to him looks familiar. The boy in black, but I'm
Well, this other one kind of looks like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Musician.
Honey Boyles?
No,
you'll get some people to respond to this
it's on the tip of my tongue.
on the tip of your.
He's making a pun because he's touching his tongue.
Mm-hmm.
David's being funny.
He's funny.
See, you got to watch David when he's funny.
It wasn't, no pun intended.
I'm sure there wasn't.
Yeah, let's see. I've got some Kevin Smith is the Smith boy there.
Mm-hmm.
And Kathy Clapper says Ed Brannick, Kevin Smith. She's just named some: Ernie Connor, Kevin Wiggle, David Weatherford, David Ross, Ralph Wickert, E.J. Easton, Bethany Brannick Bailey.
I would say Ernie Connor's second from the right on bottom row.
I'd say the Easton boy is second row, far left.
She's tagged Teresa Maddox Quinn, Lynn Rhodes, Bethany Brannick, but may not be. Some of those may be tags and not people in the picture.
Somebody said here.
So
Is that her?
Could be.
Is that Ernie Connor right there?
she tagged
Second right.
I don't know. Didn't look like him.
Lynn Rhodes tagged Beth Pugh, but I don't see Beth in the picture. Do you?
No, I don't.
No, so I'm not sure why.
So this would be if it's somebody tagged Beth, or are they just having Beth look at it? That'd be.
Yeah, it could be. They may say, oh, I see Beth tagged Lynn Rhodes, a stoffer, and says, I think you look great. So Lynn must be in the picture. So anyway, not sure what the event was.
Wow.
What's Ed got in his hand there? Looks like a pack of
Cigarettes. He's smoking.
cigarettes.
Bill, weren't you principal in 80?
No.
What were
This
you
is
teaching?
old. This is older.
First year at East Prairie and started school year 79. Beth was senior in high school.
So this is before your time.
Mm-hmm.
This might be class of 80, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's what I said. If Beth's involved in it in some way, shape, or form, she graduated.
Spoiling the End looks familiar too, but I couldn't tell you. I figure you guys would know.
Well,
we
were busy.
Those pants, the bell bottoms were in.
Good to see all the Converse tennis shoes.
And these may be 8th grade or something. This kid looks familiar too.
I bet they're 7th.
Hate to think it's the senior picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the National Honor Society.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the school board, I don't know anybody, but more USI crowd, isn't it?
That's Ned Romine at the end. So this is farm related.
Farm Bureau.
Now, Rudy Huber says Ned Romine Center production credit.
Yep. Okay. Production credit.
Oh, that's down where the driver's license bureau is now.
Yeah.
Tim Hole says that you thought it looked like Paul Wizzlebody, second from right, but I don't think that's Paul.
No,
No.
Paul's, nobody let Paul near any financial calculations.
Paul's having a
Mhm.
anniversary.
Yeah,
What is it?
45 years.
Yeah.
Since what?
Been married 45 years.
Since he left Vietnam?
Lucky Sue.
Well, that looks like on the left, Janelle Patterson.
No, that's Barbara Reinhardt.
Oh, that is Barb. You're right. Paul Reinhardt's wife.
God, I tell you what, I'm just drawn a blank, and I know who that is, and I can't tell you. Can't call her name.
Well, Leslie Butler says Sharon Fulgham Olafo to the right.
How do you spell her last name?
Aloffo is how she has it spelled. And then she
read-
says, and then Leslie says Lance Little to her left. Which that could, I guess that could be
right
Lance in
there.
the back.
That would be Lance.
Well, you tell by his nose and half an eye.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, when you blow it up, yeah, that kind of looks
Yeah,
like
you can
Lance
see.
could be.
Be very kids.
Yeah, but this kid out in the front of that lady he's obvious, but I can't pinpoint him.
Well, be about Lance's age, so be younger than me.
Oh, Lance. So they graduated in the late 80s. 86.
Because this one here on the far right kind of looks familiar too, but that's not the youngest Kalmar, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Frank?
Yeah.
Mark's younger than,
Frank and Lance were the same age.
well, they both couldn't be quarterback.
Well, Frank wasn't a quarterback, was he?
Frank's a quarterback, and so was Lance.
Well, they had to share
And
the responsibility. I had them both in the 6th grade in the same room
Well,
together.
the youngest Kalmar is Mark.
Oh, so there's
Oh, I
another
had,
young one. Yeah.
excuse me, I'll take that back. Frank and Lance weren't the same age. Trying to remember. Lance was with oh God, Tom Meyer's son.
I think Wax Boy played football with him.
Alex is what you're thinking of.
Meyer played with him.
Alex Meyer.
Look at that cake. That's a big cake.
I didn't know this gal back here too. She looks
Yeah, we
familiar.
should, but
Densmore? Is that a Densmore?
oh man, you're really going back. She graduated in about 64, but I don't think that's her. No, it's not.
That is a good shot of Pam, though.
Of Barb.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Oh, here
we go.
There's Mark Kleiss, second from the right.
Carlos.
Bandito. There's Santa Claus back left. It's kind of a strange thing. It looks
community building.
Looks like an Indian teepee with Santa Claus. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, what's the sign say over here?
Oh, hey, I got another one. The kid on the left, the boy on the left, that's Jim Cox.
Jimmy Cox, yeah. You talked to him last week.
Yeah, I just talked to him.
And the girl is?
Well, it's a girl that
Cheryl Carnine. I don't know.
Jim really liked her.
Give us the girl's initials.
Well, Ladine Royal Moyer says looks like Debbie Clay.
Debbie Clay. Ed Clay worked at the funeral home.
Yep. With Mr. Brewer. Who's the boy on the right? That should be familiar.
Well, let's see if I got any other names up here.
Is that a community building? Where is this at?
Looks like a building.
Is that east wall, that brick wall on the east?
Annie Matthews says Timothy Stiles, far right. Steve Run next to Mark Kleiss.
He run.
So there, I think we got them all.
Sandy Decker, upper left. Doug McCumber's mom, Mrs. McCumber. Over the right's Wetzel, Hackett, Margaret Hackett.
Margaret.
And I don't know the lady in the back middle.
Marcy Shoemaker says Sandy Decker, Catherine Kellogg, Margaret Wetzel, and seated Catherine McCumber.
Catherine Kellogg, a young Catherine Kellogg. That's exactly who it is.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
It's been a few years.
Well, let's see if I can get this out of here.
Okay, I don't have any help on this one. Is this at the courthouse? Or is this a church?
Looks like a
Courthouse or a church?
church, maybe.
Yeah, looking at the wood here, that looks more like a. I don't remember that from the courthouse, so maybe a church.
I don't think
The woodwork looks like a church or a courthouse.
Well, I don't, those windows, that's a,
They have ladies all wore a hat back in those days when they got dressed up.
Well, and the only place you see glass like this at the courthouse might be in the bathrooms.
that's right. And that's the, so that's, I don't think those are defendants in a criminal conspiracy case, are they?
I don't think so.
It looks
That's the
pretty serious though.
That's the Chicago 7.
They yeah, they look pretty serious.
Could have been mass adoption or something.
All right, I don't have any info on that one.
Okay.
Hang
We
on.
got all of them here. That's
Clark on the left.
the Miss Tuscola is the youngest of the Ross girls.
Yes, she is.
Katrina and Susan, was that her name? Katrina's the oldest, and
Kim is the tallest one, and then is that Jolly? Can't tell. Turner on the far right. Tina Turner on the far right.
Mhm. This is class of David. I think
Kim Sievers is a tall one, I
I think
believe.
this is class of '84, David.
Okay. Elizabeth Lincoln Reed says 1988 Miss Tuscola winners. Left to right, Julie Clark, Teasy, Tisha Travis Christine, Susanna Ross, 87 Miss Susanna Ross, 88 Miss Tuscola Kim Sievers, Kettering, Dawn Coon Cross, Tina Turner Cox.
Don Kuhn Cross married Fritz Cross.
And
I think Fritz is back in Tuscola working for the Hillard Agency, isn't he?
I've not seen him.
I think he's living out of town. I think he's living with Stan, comes downstairs with Stan. I think they may be moving back.
Kim Seaver says, I just got that dress from Mom's last week when we cleaned out some closets. It doesn't fit.
Kim taught school taught 6th grade at East Prairie for me for 1 year. Good volleyball player.
So these girls are a little younger than me.
Well,
okay, here
lower
we go.
right, I'll do the first row.
That's an easy row.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, that's Lyle McCollum Paul McCollum on the left. There's the old football coach, Reinhardt, Rick Reinhardt. That is, I'll think of it in just a second.
He's a farm boy.
Yeah, and then there's Rick Wellborn, and there's Anderson,
Bill Anderson.
Billy Anderson.
Second row is Denny Fredericks, one of the Tinglings, Alex.
That is the Lyle Tingley.
Lyle Tingley.
That's
It looks like Hausman. Fred,
that's Fred Hausman.
don't know.
Is that a Meyer?
And then that's a Sipe on the far right.
Eric Sipe. Upper right, there's Fred Hausman. Upper
Oh,
right,
there's Fred up there.
Tom
Who
Harris.
is that I thought was a Hausman?
Well, we'll get back to him. That's Fred Hausman, Tom Harris.
Tom Harris,
Owen.
Owens,
Which Owen was that? Randy?
probably.
And is that?
Don't know.
Don't know. So this is Siebens, the guy in the middle in front
Oh,
row.
it's
the
Greg?
Greg
Greg
Siebens.
Stevens.
Who'd you say this was over here? Mayor?
Well, I thought it was Fredericks.
On the left?
Is a player.
Fredericks. Which Fredericks?
Denny. Wasn't
was
he
a kid.
coaching the team?
No, he's a kid. Yeah, Denny was
Football
our age.
coach.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not
but
Denny.
I thought it was him.
No, that's the mayor kid, I think. Farm boy, mayor. Lyle Tingley. We got them all except the middle guy with the white shirt.
I don't think we got this guy. Maybe you did.
That's mayor, I think.
Okay. Who's the kid on the far left?
Over here, go back. That's mayor.
Hmm.
Well, up here, we don't know him.
No.
This
You
one-
have him?
No, I don't have them.
Hmm.
We should know this guy right here with the white shirt.
No, I don't know.
But there were three
He
Tingleys.
sure is happy.
He's happy. The youngest Tingley was Paul. That's Lyle. Alex was the oldest one. Wasn't there a Meyer kid? Rob Meyer? Is that Rob Meyer?
There was a Meyer, but and the sisters, but no, I don't know.
I just saw Billy Anderson.
Doesn't look like Rob Meyer to me, but
I saw Billy Anderson.
Really?
What?
Where?
At the funeral for 3 weeks ago. Whose funeral was that?
Burke?
No. Let me think for a second.
all right. You ready to move on?
Ready.
Did anybody else identify all of them?
Just ones you guys did.
There's the Kalmar boy. There's John Kalmar, the dentist, I think.
Must
Quarterback.
be because his certificate says dental radiology.
Yeah, he's a dentist, famous dentist, a Hall of Fame dentist. And all the Kalmars were quarterbacks, every one of them. Mark, Steve, John's the oldest. And who was the one you named back in the
Frank.
Frank.
Frank's about class of 86. Lance came after.
Mark was like 88, I think, or 89. That looks
Eric
like
Alexander is standing reaching.
that a Holmes,
That might be Summer.
Summer Holmes.
Filming looks like a Braulio almost, but I can't see because
Well, they're filming snake fights, it looks like.
some sort of a electrical
Oh, wait, it
project.
says snake fights up here. I was right.
Oh yeah,
I was right.
Eric Alexander says is Summer Holmes in front, Jeff Baralio on the right, himself in the back. He says the kid on the left was from Tolono, but his name escapes me, and I think the name on the back of the picture was Morgan.
It looks like Larry Morgan.
I got Braulio right,
Mhm.
and I can't even see his head.
And what's it say? At the snake fights, Friday night at the snake fights.
I identified that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really. Everybody remembers those.
Yeah, boy,
snake fights.
right after the wick, midnight to 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
midnight
snake
to
fights, the snake fights. Oh, the redhead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
At the-
wow.
at the corner of Park and Pembroke.
Looking back at
That's a
Tuscola,
dealership.
looking back southeast. I got the direction.
Look at the old Grabbit had a lot of windows up at the
Yes, it
top,
did.
didn't it?
Well, it didn't stock groceries that high.
I really like Red's pants.
Red was the dresser.
And Mike, what kind of car is that?
Buick, that was the Grand National Buick.
It's a Buick. I'm not sure it's a Grand National. Could be.
I love that paint job. I'd love to have that paint job. You know, most people don't know this, but that was the official pace car of Indianapolis 500.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
Yeah. Nobody
Mag,
knew.
look at those mag wheels.
What kind of tires are those, Mike?
Those are white oval Goodyears.
Look at
Those are
Mike.
those are GR 7015s. I used to have them on my old Ford GTA.
Mike even knows what brand the tires are. He's amazing.
That's an Arnold Palmer cardigan sweater.
There we
Red
go,
has
Larry
on.
Little, and there's Peyton right next to Larry. Donnie Peyton.
Gary Little.
Gary Little and Donnie Peyton's boy. What was
Yeah.
his name? He threw the shot put. This must be track.
Donnie.
His
His
name
name
was
was also Donnie.
This must be track, I'm thinking.
Track Awards Banquet, and they gave Little. It looks like
He's
what
the
is
coach.
that?
He was the coach.
Yeah, Blair's. Who knows?
He was
Gary looks like the kids.
Gary looks young there. Gary was quite a hurdler in Tuscola, set the record for a long time. That looks like Dave Dietrich, third row up, second in.
It is.
So this has got to be, should have Randy Hastings. and
Well,
Fritz
it's the
Cross in
late
there.
70s,
Randy Hastings ought to, well, about 76, 77.
possibly.
Randy's a little younger, a year or two.
Well, Randy was a junior when Dave was a senior, I think. Fritz Cross ought to be in this picture.
Gary left
Fritz is
teaching
younger.
in
It'd
1979.
be Gordy Cross you're thinking of.
Gordy, what'd I say, Stan?
Fritz.
Well, Fritz, Gordy, they're the same. As far as I'm concerned, they're the same.
Gary Little was a junior high basketball coach and started the season in 79.
We ought to know most of these guys since Dieter's in there. Dieter was quarterback at the 76 team. And I can almost name most of the players in. I think your brother played on that team, didn't he, Dave? 76.
Yeah.
You had Grimbo. You had Flume. You had the Fritz, Hastings, Gary Campbell, Maxie.
You're saying Fritz again. I think you mean Gordy.
Well, the same thing. That was Gordy's nickname in high school. Was Fritz.
Well, that's his brother's name. I recognize Mike Otto up here in the glasses
There you go.
there. And Dave, let's see. I
Now,
recognize this guy.
Oh, that's our who is it right there?
He's been on our program. This one here with the white tie. Of course, this one's got a white tie too, but
Oh, that is what's his name? The photographer from Arthur.
no.
Oh, just kidding. Let me guess there for a
Shoemaker?
second. No, that's not Alan.
Well, who else has been on the show?
Well, he looks like Hornaday, but he's not.
Well, it's certainly not Ryan.
You
Yes,
can't
Ryan was born in 79.
you can't
your-
tell who this is.
That's your brother?
That is Pete Porter.
I got that one right. Surely I get points for getting your brother.
Yeah, I had to blow his face up to the entire screen to.
Well, name would have helped. Now, I'm
Hey,
thinking of
John.
the guys.
Yeah, John always says Eric Foster, John Flume, Pete Porter, Dave Smalling, David Dietrich, Mike Otto, Donnie Payton, Steve Zabowski, Rick Holden, Steve Laley, Mark Cornell, James Grimm, Jim Meyer, Ronnie Rentz, Jack Moody, and Gary Bories.
Okay, the second row, third from right is Grimm. And I think Jack Moody had long hair, so he's either
He's
got to
in
be,
that long, he's in that letter jacket.
I think he's in the letter jacket. And then I think,
And Andre Huber says, and plus Gary Little.
yeah, the coach.
Yeah. Is that
Andre Englehardt.
Gary Voorhees in that white tie?
Are you saying Andre Englehardt actually phoned in?
What's
No.
that?
You said Andre Englehardt.
It says Huber, Andre Huber.
I was gonna say, is your wife watching this?
No,
I didn't think
she's
Andrea,
never
Andre.
watched it.
I didn't think she ever watched you.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
there's one guy that looks like third row up on the right. Is that Kohlbecker, Tim Kohlbecker? I mean, Paul Kohlbecker. He played on that team.
Which one?
Third row, far right, Paul Kohlbecker.
Well, I don't think so. He's not one named by John Hoy. I would think he would have.
Yeah, he played on that team. And the guy on the bottom right looks like Tony Hausman.
This is class of 77.
Yeah, 76,
And,
77.
And
That's
I was in Arcola.
somebody said this was their sophomore football team.
well, that's
Yeah,
Grimble.
Danny,
Grimble.
yeah, Danny Matthews says back row, Paul Kohlbecker sitting below John.
There you go.
Keith Courtney first left, second row.
Now you both doubted me, so that's got to be worth about 7 points.
So there you go.
Good group of guys. Well, you want some points, Bill? Here they are.
Well, I struck out.
Looks like Kaskaski's
The
fireplace
girl,
bricks.
yeah, it does. The girl in the very back, the tall one looks familiar, but that's about it.
Connie Sterling says, I thought that was Corey
Wait a minute.
Williams.
Wait a minute. Is that Kerry Bergerson in the middle?
No.
Okay.
What, David?
It's Lori Gangloff Williams is in the picture.
Lori's in this picture? Oh, she's back right, top row.
And she says, we see Christina Went. And she says, I believe Bobby Utterback Reardon. She says Denise somebody, which would be Denise Gross. And
Denise Groves would
the
be next to Lori Gangloff in the middle, back.
And she says could be Bonnie question mark, which would be probably that'd be Bonnie Webster.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
well, I'm looking for Utterback.
and Patricia McHugh says, yeah, she sees Bonnie and farthest left with her sister Rinda.
You see Utterback?
Branch Groves.
See John Murray's? You think that's her? Bobby?
She's married to John Reardon now.
I know, but does that look like her?
Well, she's a young girl there.
I know, but does that look like her was my question?
No.
Okay.
Which one?
Well, Bobby Reardon, Bobby Utterback.
Yeah, but which one is she?
Well, Bill thinks it's the one holding the big card, second from right.
I can't really tell.
All I say is
that could be.
It's probably her by default, but it doesn't look like her.
Yeah, I kind of see it now. These girls were my age or close to my age.
Yeah, the Groves girl looks.
Denise is my age.
Yeah, you can see the Groves girl now.
Denise was Denise Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Married Hank Groves.
Married Hank, yeah.
And but the Webster girls were a little bit older than me. So this is where's this at? Out at
It's like Kaskaskia up against their fireplace.
I thought maybe it was against
Scout building.
to Carbon Building, Elks at one time. They had a fireplace like that.
Could be.
And then, yeah, Rock and Rodney's on the north end had a fireplace. I don't know if it was
Yeah, that's the
exactly.
same building.
Yeah, that's where your car was all cut up. It was
Mhm.
could be. There's Rick Kahneman. There's all the Kahneman kids, all four of them. There's missing. There's Rob on the left, Rick on the right, Kit
And Danny.
little Danny.
Wow. What a neat picture.
Why are they holding yardsticks?
Well,
Now they were measuring Danny to see how tall he really was.
All of them wound
Isn't
up.
that a great picture of
All
Kit?
of them, all of them wound up down south in Florida and Alabama. Kit was Birmingham, I think. Well, there's Hoppy Connor on the left.
One of the Harrises behind.
yeah.
That looks like
Kleiss and Miss Tuscola.
Yeah, it looks like Kleiss in the front. That's a Bosch in the back.
So who are the kids?
Yeah. Second from left. Looks like Matt Short. God, this is tough.
That's not Dave Lohr in the back, is it?
No.
Kind of looked like him a little bit, but
I don't think so.
The short boy in the front row is a Dallas, I believe. Related to you?
well, if he's a Dallas, he'd be related, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Do you know which one?
I can't think of his first name. He was
There's
in,
only about 1,000 of them.
I know.
Second from right, and the front row is the catcher.
It's Rick Dallas's son.
You agree with me? Second from right, front row is the catcher.
Yeah, that's good, Mike.
Either that or he doesn't like ground balls.
By the way, there was a girl on the team.
Yeah, well, we knew that.
Yeah.
Now the question is, who's the girl?
Well, the question is, who's anybody?
That's Matt Short. I bet money on second from the left.
Second from the left.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You here?
Right there on the left.
Well,
Any names?
no, Amy Chinsky says, I see you, Mom, Christy. But that would be Christy Kleiss, right?
Yeah, Christy Kleiss.
Mhm.
Looking through the barbed wire fence back there is Jim Husenagel and his wife.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's got to be Steve Henninger again.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking.
That's young Chris Hill back in the middle.
Very young Chris Hill.
You know the girl? All right. Let's blow it up on Chris a little bit. That was before he was mayor.
Shortly before.
Not too much before.
There's the Middleton
The
boy.
Middleton boys, Rob on the left and Mike on the right.
And one is a little taller than the other.
Rob Middleton says this is at the club where their mom taught fitness classes.
That was owned by the club was owned by myself and 5 other idiots that lost about 30,000 apiece by doing this thing.
I belong to the club.
I know not enough of you did. Mike Rogers, Jimmy Kleiss, Doc Davidson, Bob Beasley, and Jim Higgins.
It had a hot tub in the locker room.
We had one on the girls' side and one on the boys' side.
Yeah.
The night we finished, we had a party there just for the people that worked on it. And Jim and I went back in the girls' side because the whirlpool worked. And I stripped down to my undershorts, and Jim just got naked. And we were sitting there with the bubbles going like crazy. And then walked Marilyn Davidson and Linda Kelsey with their swimming suits on and sat across from us. And I just looked at Jim, and we're smiling, and they're talking. About then, the bubble machine quit.
Yeah.
And Linda Kelsey looked down through the water and said, Jim, I don't think you have any clothes on. And he jumped up and said, no, I don't. Jim's a known exhibitionist.
He is. Yeah.
That's good.
Another story for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim.
The old journal building. You talked
huh?
about the old journal building upstairs, and Bob had it. They used to have Halloween parties.
Yeah.
Remember, second floor. Higgins came one time as a bum, all dressed up with a great big overcoat, and he would flash you. He would open his coat, and he had one of those day glow, foot-long green day glow things hanging down from his belt. That's another one of Jim's exhibitionist things. But God love you, Jim. We loved it. There's Bill's brother-in-law.
Yeah. John Surma's a coach. Marcy Leeds. Now that's Carrie Bergeson.
Right
See
in the middle,
down there?
right in the middle, holding the balls. Carrie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Carrie.
Zablotto-
That is
Zablotto girl. Number one.
no, it's not Blotto. That's Adrian and or Jessica. I can't tell. 23. Hard to tell. This is Erica Hedinger.
23 looks like
Or Aaron Hedinger. I mean,
23
Aaron.
looks like Jessica, but I don't know.
It looks more like Jessica, doesn't it?
Than Adrian.
But she's not smiling. Usually she's smiling.
Gina Mazel says, I think the front left is Amber
Also,
Bossel
Mhm.
and maybe Catherine Lincoln.
No.
Carrie Bergeson.
Carrie Bergeson.
I think it's Carrie Bergeson.
Marcy Shoemaker says John Surma coach, standing left, Marcy Leeds, standing right, question mark, Hedinger, front, question mark, she's, and then Adrian Surma.
So you think it's Adrian? It's Adrian.
Could be. Very thin in the face there.
So there you go.
Good picture.
And that's it.
Well, that was quick.
Well, I didn't have as many this week.
What did we get today, Bill? 93%.
At least. Yeah, we did really well.
Yeah.
You did pretty well. Yeah, I didn't really have time to work with negatives. I just went into the office and scanned prints.
Are you working too hard, David?
Well, we have a magazine called Broom Brush and Mop. And so it comes out every other month. And I have some responsibilities with it that take some time. So
Our call a couple days ago, and they've got the concrete poured for the Broom Palace, and they've got the vertical column for it. It's going up. It's going to be done here soon.
supposed to be done by the end of August.
In time for their
Broom
festivities in September.
Yeah, they at least hope to have the exterior done.
Are they going to wrap it in broom corn actually, or what are they going to do for the exterior?
I think there'll be some broom decorations on it, probably fiberglass or something that will weather well. We've had some pictures I could probably find.
While you're looking, do you have any pictures of Bill inside a church? I I mean, you've gone through 10,000 pictures. Have there been any of Bill inside a church?
We had a picture of Bill inside a church.
Oh, you had Bill outside a church.
I was outside of church.
Bill, in fact, Bill had to send it to you.
Yeah, but I photoshopped one of him in.
Oh, you did a Photoshop. Yeah, you ought to show that one of Bill inside a church if you can find it.
I haven't seen that yet.
I think you have, and it's as close as you're ever going to see to Bill inside a church. If
He
you
was like standing through the roof or something.
I remember.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So you were half in a church, your bottom half was in
Close.
a church during the snake races.
Snake fights.
There you go. So you'll be able to stand on the roof.
Hey,
Yeah, you'll be able to stand on the roof. And
Look over amazing Arcola.
yeah, you look downtown. And
I
there's
think it is rather amazing.
See, I think wrapping it in broomcorn would look neat, like right there.
That's the original.
that's the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, they ought to actually replicate that. If
So
if you're gonna do it right.
don't they have a fundraiser page?
They might. I don't know.
Well, you want to give some money?
Pat Monahan is organizing it.
Oh, it's probably fully funded if Jay Patrick's in charge of
The
it.
city has committed 125,000 over 5 years, it said. Wow.
Yeah.
That'll pay for a couple doors.
So yeah, I don't remember what the final estimate was on the
Wow.
cost of it, but there it is.
Well, that's pretty special.
Let's see.
Show us Bill in a church if you can find it.
I'm looking.
I think it's worth it because
Don't beat yourself up doing it.
I don't think there's anybody left in Tuscola that's ever seen Bill inside a church. I know he got married inside one. And they had to get special dispensation from the Pope.
Yeah.
They have rules against atheists getting married in a
Sure.
church. Now, Bill's been in a lot of churches in Tuscola.
I've been in a lot of churches.
Presbyterian, United Church of Christ. You're at the Camp Methodist Church now?
No, just Camp Church.
Camp Church.
Camp Church of Christ. Yeah, which used to be on Pembroke Street, the old Lutheran church. That's where we were married.
So Bill goes to church at camp and then afterwards has a nice homemade meal there. There he is. Bill
Oh,
in
yeah.
church.
There it is.
That's the day you got married.
No,
That's you and Skinner.
that's the one with Skinner.
There's
Yeah.
Bill in a church.
Yeah.
Bill with the lurch,
Bill with the lurch.
Bill on a steeple, Bill with people.
Bill with some people.
I'll tell you what, Bill in a manger, Bill in danger, Bill in a pickle, Bill with a tickle.
Bill gets the tickle.
There they are.
There.
See, they got dressed up and they walked out and stood outside the church to make people think they actually were inside. I'm pretty sure Greg's never been in one, and I'm pretty sure you haven't either. I mean, you guys were on the edge of going to reform school in that picture.
Well, but we look nice.
Yeah, you'd be the best looking kids in
Yeah,
reform school.
we look nice.
You guys were nothing but trouble. You could just look at their
yeah.
face, David. Those guys were nothing but trouble. Ask Phil White.
Looks like a couple of cherubs.
Ask Phil White when Greg threw tomatoes on his building.
They didn't get along well.
No, Phil and Greg had what shall we call it? A rumble?
A mutual hate for one another.
Phil wrote Greg a letter one time, accused him of tomato in his building, and Greg, I think, was down at school that weekend.
He was.
So
Hmm.
wrongly accused again.
Well,
What was that, David? Was that bad pizza?
Bad pizza. Well, let me just I gotta get back to it.
He's got some music, I think, to this.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
There we go. Let's do it right.
Jeez.
Good, do
Yeah, I'm dead.
it. Yeah, that's classic.
That was classic. I was
Yeah.
trying to find those. Let's see what this one is. Since we have a little extra time here.
These are
These are classic.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Watch this.
the big kahuna.
There is a house in Boise. The cold rising sun.
Yeah, that's really me singing.
When so many a poor boy, oh God knows why.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't New Orleans though.
You know-
It was Cherry Street and Terre Haute.
At the end of that thing, you look like Billy Bob Thornton in Swing Blade or whatever that movie was.
Well, yeah. David, are you ever going to do one of those in your? There we go.
On myself, we got one more.
Johnny, Johnny, eating sugar, telling lies, open your mouth.
Golly.
Bill, you made Bill famous. You know,
No.
How
he's
so?
he's known throughout Parkview and Tuscola. Well, Bill, aren't you glad you do this now?
Well,
All this fame.
the best part is we really didn't have many comments on that, did we?
No, I don't think we had any comments.
Other than some might have said, "Oh my God, that's
I saw you singing,
terrible."
Bill. I saw you singing.
You're out of your mind.
Out of your mind. Well, David, you've had a lot of fun, I hope, doing this.
Yeah.
That must have been a slow day when you did that.
No, it's just I did that in about 30 minutes.
Really?
Put those three together.
David, at the start of the show, I mentioned two locations changing.
Let's talk
The
about them.
church going to be torn down, and then the Ford garage for people coming back to Tuscola that haven't been here for a while.
Is
When
that public news? Is that public,
It's
David?
in the paper.
It's in the paper. Must be true.
Must be true.
So what's going to happen to the old Ford garage?
But I don't know. Tim Mooney still owns it.
Hmm.
That'd be a good spot for what?
Well, you have to think of all the renovations that went into it and all the new front, you know?
It'd be good for a Ford motor garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. These car dealerships now, they almost force you to build new buildings, great big things on the interstate. The small dealers, Corky Goby was downtown Newman, and they said, if you want to keep your Chevy dealership, you have to go out near the highway. So they built a brand new building, and within so many years, they forced him out. Phil Lamb gave it up. Think of all the car dealers, Red Prophet, the Redhead, downtown.
Well,
They
one
want,
time.
they want to go to bigger buildings out near the traffic, and they want to put these big fancy.
You know, we even
facades
had
on
a dealership in Hammond, Roust,
Oh yeah,
had a dealership.
Sharon
Chevrolet.
Helmsdad,
Sharon Helmsdad.
who passed away this year. Sweet gal.
Yeah, so we had dealerships in some of these smaller towns, but they're all gone.
I don't know. Maybe they'll fill it with golf carts. I think they sell more golf carts than they do cars.
You know what? I think there was a thing in the News Gazette about how many towns had golf carts. I think Tuscola had 220 of them.
Well, I tell you what, it'd be nice if our golf carts were in a little better condition.
Yeah, we're still driving the golf carts from when they opened, I think, aren't we?
Boy, I'll tell you, they're in bad shape.
You know, golf carts are, they're economical, fun to drive, but they're expensive. And my thing is, where would I park it?
Well, we'd have to get rid of the podcast because it'd be sitting right there where your chair is.
Yeah, I guess I could bring it in through the patio door and park it right here.
Yeah.
I'd have to build another garage to have some place to
You
park.
gotta get rid of one of your garage bays. You gotta charge them. Bill, you had a golf cart at Villa Grove playing golf.
Mhm.
So you gotta buy the cart. And today, what's a golf cart cost? 8,000, 6,000, 10,000?
Well, these that we're
Are more
seeing at the
expensive.
Ford are more expensive.
Yeah, they got turn signals and.
Yeah, you could buy,
10,000?
oh, you could buy for 5, 6.
Really?
Yeah, maybe less. You could buy a real good used one for less. I know that.
Yeah.
But these souped up ones are 10 to 12,000
I
or
know.
more.
I know somebody that paid 16 for one, leather seats.
I do too. I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's,
I saw one had a custom upholstery on the black and gold with a warrior
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And the thing about some of those is you can't drive them on the golf course because of the tires are not conducive. They tear up your turf.
So you got a golf cart, but you can't drive it on a golf course.
Well, they call them a golf cart, but you've got to have a place to put your clubs and whatnot.
Well,
I think these are just more drive around town.
Yeah. Well, that's cheaper than a Tesla. If that's all you want, something to just drive around
Sure.
town. I'm gonna get my old Indian head motorcycle out, I think,
That'd be a good idea.
because those are safe.
We could get on those. There's a worker on the golf course right now.
I just saw Kenny Downs the other day.
Oh, he had a bad accident.
Saw Kenny Downs at the Mexican restaurant, and he lost his cycle, bounced. And rolled. I guess his helmet saved him. Tore up his helmet, broke a bunch of ribs on oxygen because he's having trouble breathing. His ribs were broke so bad.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I saw
I had
him
a
drive by the other day.
Pardon?
I didn't know that. I saw him drive by the other day.
Yeah, he just had it. I had a Kawasaki cycle I bought, and I remember Eddie Hayton, an old Tuscola cop who used to sell Kawasaki's in Champaign, told me there's two kind of cycle riders: those that go down and die, and those that go down and live. He says, but you're going down. I remember being over at Bill Rogers in Camargo showing off on it, and I tried to do a wheelie. I torqued it, and the bike came out from underneath me, and I was running with the bike vertical, trying to shut it down. I was not a good motorcycle rider.
I remember back in the mid '80s, Scott Flesser got a new Harley Davidson, and I was over looking at it, and he says, "You want to take it for a spin?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." I didn't tell him that I had never driven a motorcycle in my life,
Oh, gosh.
and so I got on his Harley Davidson, took off, and took me 3 blocks to figure out how to slow down enough to make a turn.
That's right. You don't. Well, there was in high school, Johnny Edmiston had was it a BSA?
I didn't remember that.
Big, powerful cycle. And my first ride on a cycle, I sat behind him, had a couple of little pegs there. Went up to USI, got up over 100 mile an hour, and I'm screaming at him. No helmets, he's just laughing at me. Those things are scary.
Yeah.
Well, listen, David, I was a little bit flat today. I got a tooth pulled just in. I'm still under my, I'm still in a bad mood.
So a
You don't
little
wanna-
loopy.
Loopy is a good word.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it to stop bleeding last night. Finally
Oh,
did.
wow.
You know what you do? I called my dentist during the night. Said,
Tea bags.
exactly. How do you know that? Same thing?
When I had my wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah, they said I kept
A tea bag?
putting pressure on it. I was up for about 4 hours bleeding and bleeding. And
Oh, gosh.
so he says, go get a tea bag, put it in ice water and press it for 15 minutes hard. And I did. And I thought I finally stopped bleeding. I woke up this morning and my t-shirt had blood all down the side of it. So I didn't quite get it. I'll tell you what, you get older, they start taking your body parts off. It's not good.
All right. Well,
David wants to end on that one.
let's get out of here before it gets,
David started to get massive anxiety of what.
before we get too deep in the weeds. I had
No,
to figure out how to stop the audio. Cause they've, oh, here we go. Stop recording. They
That ought to do
moved
it.
things on me.
That ought to do it.
We'll see you next week.
I'm gonna see Abe Lincoln next week.
We'll thank Elite Builders for sponsoring us.
Elite.
All right.
Good day, David.